What's up, everybody? This is SPEW, where we're strangers peering into every window. My name is Shelby.
And this is Jesi.
And we put the nerdisms and the feminisms here.
So, as always, we are over on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at SPEW Podcast. But as of today, we've officially submitted our podcast to the iTunes Store. So soon, if all goes according to our evil, nefarious plan, you'll be able to download us on iTunes and Stitcher.
Because we're big girls now.
Yes, we are big girls. We even have a fresh and clean logo from our friend Michelle. She created a really algebraic image for us to use as a logo for the podcast. It looks a little mathematical. It looks a little Adventure Time-ish, and we love that. So if you're looking for graphic design work, you can find Michelle through the SPEW Podcast Facebook page. She is looking for jobs. She will work, and she will do amazing work for you. So go hire her.
Yes. So you may have noticed that we've been out for a little while, and it might be shocking that we're actually coming back with all this fun new stuff like an iTunes account, because I'm sure you all thought that we gave up, just threw in the towel, but we didn't.
We didn't. We are here. We are back. We're ready for action.
And a little queer.
Yeah, a little bit. But we've been busy. That's why we've been away. Shelby, where the hell have you been? What have you been up to?
I have admittedly not been busy. I've been hibernating. Midsummer hibernation.
It is that seasonal time for Shelby to go into her cave full of bear food.
Yeah, cat food.
Cat food.
Cat treats, cat food.
I assumed you were out there hustling on the streets, but if you've just been
I was hustling in my bed. Hustling right to my bed.
Understandable.
Yep. What have you been up to?
I've actually been crazy busy. Primarily, an entire week of my life got taken away by Misha Collins.
I don't know who that is.
You're a loser. So Misha Collins is a fantastic actor on a wonderful show called Supernatural.
You're going to talk about Supernatural and call me a loser?
Yeah, you're a loser.
Mm-hmm.
And so I actually don't really watch Supernatural anymore. It kind of jumped the shark. But I used to be really into it, and I learned about this awesome thing that Misha Collins does that's called GISHWHES.
Okay.
Yeah, that is a word. GISHWHES.
Okay. GISHWHES.
So GISHWHES is an acronym. Stands for the greatest international scavenger hunt the world has ever seen. So it is what it sounds like. It's a giant scavenger hunt that happens all over the world.
I vaguely remember you talking about this one, but I still don't fully understand what it was.
Right. So this is something that Misha Collins started. The actor started this along with, I'm sure some other friends and contributors. And what it is it's it goes for 1 week in August. It's an annual thing. They've done it for, I don't know, maybe 6-7 years now. And a bunch of people sign up all over the world. Tens of thousands of people, I imagine, sign up for it. And you get sorted onto a team of 15 people. You can pick your team, or you can be randomly sorted onto a team with people from literally anywhere in the world. This was my second year doing GISHWHES.
Mm-hmm.
And what do? It's a scavenger hunt, but not in the sense that like you're going out looking for like a pair of purple shoes or something. It's not looking for items. It's completing challenges, basically.
Okay.
The challenges.
This explains all the weird pictures that have been on your Facebook.
So I've been doing some weird stuff.
Right.
So, and that's part of the mission of GISHWHES is to get people out of their comfort zone, doing weird things in public that are, for the sake of comedy, for the sake of weirdness, for the sake of art, and for the sake of kindness. There's a couple of world records that GISHWHES holds, and like one of them is like the most random acts of kindness committed on one day. There's a random world record for everything these days, but they do things like that. So some of the weird things that I did with my team of 15 people included I had to be buried in a coffin of popcorn.
Okay.
So thankfully I had a friend, Tony, what's up, man, who let me borrow his coffin because,
What the fuck?
Some people just have coffins and you shouldn't judge them.
An actual coffin?
Well, I think it's like a prop coffin, but it was pretty...
Right, but it was meant to look like a coffin. It wasn't like a box.
You could legit be buried in it, I suppose. Yeah, it was made to look like a coffin, had a lid and handles and all that.
Everybody watch out for Tony.
Right. So I had to like lay in the coffin, get the coffin filled with popcorn, and then take a picture. The cool thing about GISHWHES, I think, is that you're awarded points for each challenge that you complete, but you get points deducted if you do the challenge poorly, like if the image you create at the end is ugly or crappy in some way. So I, have a leg up on that as a very talented photographer.
So no iPhone pictures.
Well, like you can do those, and sometimes people make really great stuff and they do document it with an iPhone picture, but it's about the staging. It's about, to pay attention to the background of your picture and make sure everything's in focus and stuff like that, which you can do with an iPhone, absolutely. So we took our coffin to an actual graveyard in Fort Myers, and I got in the coffin, filled it with popcorn. I had two of my friends who were also on my GISHWHES team pose as mourners at my funeral, and they were all dressed to the nines for mourning. And the picture looks fantastic. It looks hilarious.
I remember seeing that one. I didn't know exactly what it was for, but I have to ask the obvious question: did anyone see you?
Nobody saw us that day. I was shocked, but it's a really old cemetery, so it's not. I don't think they even actively bury people there anymore.
Were you on an actual grave, or
no? There was an empty lot, and we were next to it, so you can see graves in the background.
Okay.
We tried to be respectful as good as we could for the silliness. So yeah, stuff like that. We had to also dress up Colin, my roommate, as a prospector.
That was my favorite one.
And then he had to pan for gold in a public fountain. And this picture is hilarious. Colin got super into the role. I made him the costume. So yeah,
did you get do you already know your scores on certain things?
You don't, and it usually takes 3 months for them to finish scoring. It takes a long time. So
I felt like that picture was awesome, though.
That picture is awesome.
We should put your GISHWHES pictures up on the site so people know what we're talking about.
That's a good idea.
Some little album.
We'll toss some GISHWHES pictures up there so you guys see what it's about. So next year's GISHWHES will be probably in August again. It's always a big deal. You pay $18 to participate, but some people get scholarships, which is cool. So not everyone has to pay. And the ultimate goal of GISHWHES is to have fun and create art, but also there is a prize because it's a competition, so there has to be a prize. And the top winner gets a all expenses paid trip to Iceland with Misha Collins. So I get to hang out with frickin' Castiel.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So I hope I win. We did really good this year, so I feel pretty strongly. So shout out to Team Salt Ring, GISHWHES 2016, my brothers and sisters. You guys are awesome. So aside from GISHWHES, I've been watching TV.
Yes, I have too.
Yes.
I do have to admit that.
Yeah, in my downtime, I've been watching TV. I think me, you, and about 8 million other people have been watching Stranger Things.
Yeah, you mentioned it very briefly on a couple episodes back, and I didn't know what you were talking about. And then you said it was Winona Ryder, and I kind of lost interest because I fucking hate her.
I fucking hate you.
You like Winona Ryder?
I love Winona Ryder. I want Winona Ryder.
I always learn things about you, and it just makes me hate things about you.
I want her to play me in the Lifetime movie about my life.
I am going to make that happen because I fucking hate you so much. I hate her so much. Yes, guaranteed.
But she overacted her ass off, and I was dying for it.
Yep.
I loved it. I loved every minute of her on screen.
Right. Yeah,
so,
she was good.
Spoiler alert, obviously, for anyone who hasn't watched Stranger Things yet, just fast forward 5 minutes, and you'll get to the good stuff without the spoilers. So Stranger Things was super fun to watch. I watched it with Sherry, and she also really enjoyed it. It's, great sci-fi, great atmosphere, great music. The kid actors are actually really talented.
God, I know. I've never been that attached to a bunch of kid actors before in my life. Yeah.
I was like, kudos to the director, kudos to these kids. They all came off very genuine and really funny. Really,
I would sell an ovary to adopt Dustin.
I just want to be
toothless one.
I want to be in their gang. I want to be in their little bicycle gang they have. So
it was very good. I think they portrayed that era very well too.
When I first watched the trailer, I was like, this is going to be aliens. Yes, it's going to be aliens.
You kept saying it was aliens.
I was like, it's got to be aliens, and it wasn't aliens, and I was disappointed about that, but it won me over with the alternate dimension alien monsters, which were really cool. But okay, so you finished the season, right?
I did. I finished it hard, in one day.
What the heck is going on in the show?
I don't know. And, I do have to say that they did announce officially that they're going to be doing a sequel, which is great news. But I was really rooting for the theory that they were going to do an American Horror Story, because I like that there were so many, cliffhangers at the end. And I felt like it would have been nice to just not find out. So it was up for interpretation. But with all the questions, you can find them everywhere. If you're watching, or if you were on Facebook, you've probably seen people what the fuck about certain things. Namely the waffles.
Yeah,
For sure.
well, the whole relationship between Sheriff Hopper and Eleven.
Yeah.
He's given her waffles at the end of the last episode. I don't know if he's giving them to her, but he's leaving Eggo waffles in a little cabinet outside. She has been evaporated by, I don't know, her own mind power. We assume she's dead, but she likes Eggo waffles and he's leaving them outside. So what?
Right, is it like a memorial thing, or is he actually giving it, like, is that box now some kind of link to the upside
down? Or
yeah.
is she alive somehow?
And are we supposed to be okay with a fucking like 11-year-old, like named 11, however the fuck old she was, running around with this monster that terrified her?
Right.
Like, I'm not okay with that.
Not okay with that. What I'm also not okay with is her obsession with Eggo waffles. Eggo waffles are an insult to waffles. And
oh my god.
Waffles are amazing. They're the best food out there. Eggo waffles are cardboard garbage crap.
They're a little soggy. They're a little wet.
Yeah,
just a little
the
watery.
worst. So that's disgusting. But how does he know to leave the Eggo waffles?
Not to mention,
how does he know she likes Eggo waffles?
Right. That wasn't determined. Only the kid knew that.
There's some serious layers there. So,
Mike or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, and also he fucking gave her up, right? Like whenever the government was looking for her, that's how he got the right for him and Winona to go into to go in to the Upside Down. Was he's like, well, I know where that girl is.
He Lando
and he doesn't.
him.
Yes, he does.
He
and so it's like,
him.
I'm irritated that I liked his character a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm really irritated that he didn't get anything, like that the kids don't know that he basically fucking sold her out to the government. Mm-hmm. And like, fuck you. I'm pretty sure 11 knows that because she's psychic, and I don't want your waffles if you try to sell me to the government.
Yeah, there's like apology waffles because you can shove them.
Or bring real waffles.
Or bring real waffles. So yeah, I'm very interested to find out. I agree. I think it'd be cool if they did like an American Horror Story thing. But I want to know. Did she create Upside Down in her brain?
Yeah.
Did she just break down the barrier to Upside Down? Is she there? Did she cancel out Upside Down and now something worse is coming? I mean, there's so many questions.
Well, what's crazy is I didn't even realize because I've actually watched it like 1.5 times now because I got my mom to watch it. And so watching it the second time, I had more questions than I did the first time. Mm-hmm. Namely, I was really confused. I thought that the government was there to study the Upside Down, that they already knew about it, and that they were there to study that weird plant face thing. Mm-hmm. And she just happened to be a part of it. But if I'm not wrong, they were there to study her. They had no idea that was going on. And it was literally right before she escapes that they even had any indication that there was some kind of monster.
Yes.
So it's not like they knew there was monster the whole time.
No, I think they were just trying to study like the effects of like hallucinogens on like this girl or on her mom originally. And then when she produced this obviously very powerful young girl, then they were like, okay, let's see how we can weaponize this girl.
Right.
And then she done weaponized her own ass and brought these monsters through. So yeah, I think it's great. I loved seeing like a strong little girl.
Oh my God, I know.
At the forefront. That could have easily been a role for a dude. And I thought it was so great that they made a little girl who's strong and vulnerable. She's scared.
Mm-hmm.
She's a child. She's not,
Well, and that little girl really shaved her head. I don't know why that matters to me, but it totally does. Like, she's a really young girl that was
a boss.
Right, and she was totally down with it. And her mom, I was reading about it, her mom and her grandmother, who were like essentially her agents, I think that's basically how it is for most young children stars, they were like, there's ways to fake it. You don't have to do that. And she was like, fuck you, Mom. And she shaved the fuck out of her head, which is awesome. I think it's
tough.
Great.
And the imagery, like all the fan art of her,
yeah.
I'm just like, I would have loved seeing a show like this when I was a little girl.
And that show in general is astonishing. It's like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I've been super emotional recently anyways. But like watching that show, just little scenes, like the way that the set looks, the way that even the costuming, there was something so nostalgic. And I wasn't even around in the 80s, but it had such a weird nostalgic feeling to it. And like definitely the D&D stuff was really nostalgic for my childhood.
Yeah, I got to like age 4 in the 80s, and like the early 90s are basically like a bleed over of the 80s. So a lot of that, rung very true to my childhood. And with having a single mom and the struggles of worrying about your kids and not having a lot of money. Like I related so hard to that. Whenever the Upside Down fried her phone for the second time, I got upset on her behalf because I was like, phones are expensive.
Yeah, right.
And when you ain't got the money for that shit, like, that's not cool. Don't be messing with people's phones.
Right.
So.
I am excited to find out, like, whether or not Nancy stays with douchebag, what's his nuts?
Yeah, dude with the hair.
Yeah, hair dude. Or if she ends up with Christopher.
I hope she ends up
with
Christopher.
Jonathan. That was the one that the goofy looking one, like photographer.
Yeah, I think, because I think photographers are the best. So I hope that she.
He's goofy looking. He was so greasy.
He looks a lot older.
Like he does look older, but he's greasy. Like he looks like he just got out of a fucking pool the whole time in that movie because his hair is so greasy.
You.
Whatever, get out of here. Another thing too, I keep saying one more thing, but that kid, like you don't even care. I mean, well, you do care about him because he's got like a couple of lines. The kid that actually gets sucked in the very beginning. Yeah. But then like when he's finally home, you're like, yay! But then they fucking get you at the end, like a big spoiler. Well, like this kid gets up and after he's come home and he walks into the bathroom and he coughs up a piece of shit. I don't know, not literal shit, but like a worm from the upside down.
It was upside down slug.
So he's like, something's happening to him. Yeah. And is he going in and out? Is he now part upside down?
Is he gonna become one of the creatures? Did he just like vomit?
What? You literally just blew my mind. I didn't even think about that. Who's the creature? We're gonna find out who the fucking creature is. That's what that means. That is amazing. Also, what if it's his daughter? What if it's okay? Oh my god. Okay.
I just want to also say rest in peace to Brenda.
Who was Brenda?
The redheaded friend that died.
Barbara.
Her
name was Barb.
See, I forgot her name. That's how long ago she died. So I feel bad for her.
I'm pretty sure she was gay and in love with Nancy.
I thought she was so cute.
Did you get the impression she was gay? Because a lot of people did.
I don't know. Maybe. My gaydar's pretty off though. So.
But people were also just kind of ugly in the 80s.
Everybody was ugly in the 80s, and nobody cared. And that's what I loved about the 80s and the 90s. Everyone was ugly. I miss those times because I was ugly. I fit in. Mm-hmm. I don't fit in anymore because I'm so beautiful.
Oh,
it's hard being this beautiful. Mm-hmm. So aside from Stranger Things, everybody is playing video games without me, and it's making me feel really left out.
I wouldn't feel left out for the two popular video games right now, which are Overwatch and No Man's Sky, because they're both.
Yeah, they're both
farts.
Terrible games.
I don't know. Overwatch actually looks okay, but I've heard No Man's Sky turned out to be a giant bag of farts. What does Colin say about it?
Colin and Sherry both love No Man's Sky.
Oh my God.
All they do is play No Man's Sky and Overwatch, and they don't talk to me anymore, and I'm kicking them both out of the house. No Man's Sky is the worst game I've ever seen. All you do is name planets.
Did they even run into other people yet? That's the whole point of it?
Yeah, they have. Cool. But I lost interest after they named like 12 planets, and none of them were named after me. So, and then Overwatch is a first-person shooter. It actually, I like the way it looks. It's much more interesting visually than most first-person shooters, MMOs, which I generally don't like those. So I'm not gonna say
I don't like them at all.
I'm not gonna say it's a bad game because I don't play those kind of games. So I'm not gonna review a game that I don't like the genre. But
I will tell you the worst part of it is that Overwatch is done by Blizzard, which is the same people as World of Warcraft. Yeah. So in order to play any of those games, you have to sign into Battle.net, which is your social media through those games. Mm-hmm. So for the first time in like probably 5 years, I've been logging on to World of Warcraft, and I see all of my old friends that I haven't seen in years, and they're all on there, and I get so excited. And it's like playing Overwatch. I'm like, fuck you! I know, it sucks.
Well, nobody's playing with me either, and all I want to do is still play Pokemon Go.
I know, you and like 12 people.
Everyone's over it, and I'm so sad because I was like, this game is gonna go on for years. Everyone's gonna be so into it forever.
I will tell you, my mom is still into it.
Good. I'm gonna play with your mom.
She's traveling the country right now, and she caught some special stuff only in Indiana.
That's awesome.
Yes. So just you and my mother.
I'm gonna send my phone with her next time she goes somewhere.
That's actually a good idea.
So nobody plays anymore. I went downtown a couple nights ago, and it's dead. There's nobody there, and it just makes me so sad. I think part of it's because downtown's all under construction right now. In the park,
is it? I haven't been down there.
It looks really ugly. So
I'm not kidding. I've literally been hibernating for like 3 months.
Rest in peace, Pokemon Go. I guess. So we've also got some really cool upcoming movies and TV shows over the next few months. I finally watched the full trailer for Arrival, which I obviously am crazy about aliens and alien movies. That's my bread and butter. And Arrival looks really good. Alien movies are the shit. Shut up. This one actually, it stars Amy Adams.
I like her. She's which one? She's a
redheaded, Enchanted.
Yes,
Muppets. She's in the Muppets movie.
She is cute. I like
she's
her.
Adorable, and she does drama really well because she just looks like she's on the verge of tears all the time.
Yeah, she's so cute. Those eyes.
And this one is, it looks really pretty. Like the design of the spaceships is really beautiful. I'm really excited about Arrival.
She's in Superman, Man of Steel. I just watched her last night.
I don't know nothing about no Supermans.
Well,
I don't know nothing about it.
So I haven't seen that. I don't even know what you were talking about.
I'll show you the trailer later because it's really beautiful. Okay. And they've released all these movie posters that go with it, and they're all like, it's the alien spaceship, and they're all set in some different iconic city because these spaceships like go all over the world. And
are they friendly or are they mean?
The thing that I gathered from the trailer is it looks like Amy Adams is brought in as some sort of science expert because she wants to try and communicate with the aliens to find out instead of just bombing the shit out of them. And so she actually gets like some pieces of their language and she's trying to decipher like their hieroglyphics. And it just looks really, really cool. Because she's trying to like maintain the peace. And of course the military is all like, let's shoot them. And it looks really interesting. It looks more drama than action. Which I like in a good alien movie. Like, it doesn't have to be scary. It can be. Those are cool too, but it doesn't have to be. Another movie trailer I watched today was for Hidden Figures. Which is slated
Everyone's talking about that.
It's slated for a January release, which always bums me out because that's when they dump bad movies. But this one looks really good. It stars Taraji P. Henson, which she plays Cookie in Empire. And one of the things that I love about her is she's very adamant about not wanting people to call her Cookie. She's like, I see people, they call me Cookie, and I'm like, look, I've had a film career for years. I'm sorry if you just now found me. But she's like, she's a very established actress. So this is, I think, a role that will get her some attention and kind of catapult her away from that role of Cookie, even though that is a fun role. Janelle freaking Monáe.
I do love her. She's a singer, right?
She's amazing. She's an amazing singer, songwriter, dancer.
She's an amazing woman.
And she's also she's a great actress. In all of her music videos, she acts and she looks awesome. And of course, the wonderful Octavia Spencer. So this movie is about the mathematicians who made space travel possible back in the day. They calculated the flight paths that put Neil Armstrong on the moon. And they were black women. And of course, no one sees black women as the face of NASA.
Oh, of course not. Not even today, especially not back then.
But back then, yeah. So it's all about their experience and the true story of how they made freaking space travel possible, because they were basically human computers. They just computed and did math, and they were awesome at it, and people were jerks to them about it. So I mean, it looks really legit good. So I'm excited about that one.
Right on. Yeah. Walking Dead season 2 or season, God, what is it? 2004? No, Walking Dead season 7.
Season 7. So
you tell me about it because I hate it.
I know you hate it. I have a love-hate relationship with Walking Dead.
Really?
Because I gave up on Walking Dead early on, and then I came back into it.
I haven't done that. So now, I gave it up after about midway through season 2.
And there's a lot of it that I don't like, and there's some of it I do like. So I'm still watching it. So, but yeah, the trailer for season 7 was just debuted at Comic-Con. And it's 3 minutes long, which is pretty long for a trailer, but literally 50% of it is flashbacks to the previous seasons. But and in the second half of the trailer, you do see clearly a whole bunch of the main characters, because the cliffhanger for season 6 was this new bad guy shows up, Negan, and he's got this real badass bat that's like wrapped in barbed wire. And
a bat, as in a flying bat?
No, like I'm gonna bat baseball.
So like new Harley Quinn.
Yeah. So he shows up, and he has all the main characters lined up and captured.
Yeah.
And he basically is like, one of y'all's going to get a beat down, the likes of which you never seen.
Is that what he sounds like?
Pretty much.
Is he black or white?
He's white.
He's white. His name's Negan?
Negan. And so so that's the cliffhanger. And it cuts away, and you're like, oh crap, who got the beat down the likes of which I've never seen? So, and it is kind of implied that a main character is going to die from this beat down.
Who do you think it is?
I think it's probably going to be, I hope it's Carl.
The child?
But Carl.
What?
But it's probably not going to be Coral.
No.
But yeah, no. They show a whole bunch of the main characters in the second part of this trailer, and they clearly have not gotten a beat down the likes of which the world never seen. So it sort of narrows down the list. So it still could be Glenn, because I didn't see Glenn.
I thought he died under a dumpster. Was that they took over the internet?
No, he's good. He's fine.
He was alive under the dumpster.
He's fine. The whole time he was fine. So yeah, so that's exciting. And best part of the trailer, there's a tiger in it, which I feel like Walking Dead has really suffered from a lack of cats.
Yeah, right? I feel like they, of all animals, would probably survive longer than most others.
Yeah, and you know what
Cats
I would
and
do?
parrots.
What I would do if there was a zombie apocalypse is I would walk my happy ass straight to the zoo. I would get all the tigers and lions. I don't know how, but somehow I would get them, take them to my house, and ain't nobody fucking with my house.
But, okay, so if a tiger eats a zombie, or a walker, as they call them, what happens then? Does he consume his zombiness?
No.
You can eat, so I can eat a zombie, you can eat me.
You can eat a zombie.
It doesn't make any difference.
It's probably gross.
They have to bite me?
Yeah, they have to bite you. That's the way it works.
I don't trust the science.
In this atmosphere.
Zombie tiger. Oh, that would be interesting.
That would be deep. So, On to some comedy world news, since we are, of course, comedy nerds. We've established that.
Well, we're basically professional comedians.
We are, but we don't get paid. So basically professional comedians.
Yeah, exactly. We have self-loathing.
Shout out to
no
comedians.
empty bank accounts.
Yeah,
yep,
absolutely. Do you know who Kurt Metzger is?
I do not.
So I don't know his comedy that much. Like I've heard a few of his jokes come across my Sirius station, but Kurt Metzger is a comedian, well established. He's been around the block for a long time. He's sort of one of those crass white dude comedians, so he's not my cup of tea, but he does have some funny stuff out there. He's been a writer on Amy Schumer's show for like as long as it's been out. Like,
okay.
He's been a contributor. They're good friends.
I didn't know she had a show.
Yeah, Amy Schumer. What's it called? I don't know. Amy Schumer has a show. It's okay. It's pretty funny.
She's all right.
She's okay. Like Amy Schumer, she toes the line where I'm like, that wasn't funny. That was just you being like, I'm offensive and a girl.
Right.
And, you know.
Poop. Period.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But sometimes.
I suck a dick.
Yeah. Like occasionally she digs deep and she gets something really insightful.
Does
and I'm
she?
like,
Because I haven't seen that yet.
It's on occasion.
Okay. I take your word for it.
Yeah. So Kurt Metzger is not super insightful, but he does contribute sometimes to her show. But recently something went down with the Upright Citizens Brigade, which is a big comedy club.
Okay.
Everybody tours through there at some point. There's a contributor to the comedy club, pretty popular guy there. I've never heard of him. He's not that popular. Named Aaron Glasser.
I don't know him either.
Never heard of him. But he apparently has been accused by several women of sexual assault.
He's a comedian, or he's just someone who hangs out there?
He's a comedian. So he's been accused by several women who have chosen to remain anonymous. Other comedian women who have come forward and said that he has raped. He has just straight up raped them, drugged them, raped them, awful stuff. So nobody's pursuing criminal charges at this point, but he has been banned from Upright Citizens Brigade.
How long have these accusations been coming out?
Just recently.
Okay.
Really recently.
So like one did it, and the next one was like, okay, now it's someone. Right. Okay.
And it seems like
same thing going on at Fox News.
It seems like a lot of people, like what they did is they went to Upright Citizens Brigade, where he is there frequently, which I think may have been sort of his hunting ground.
Okay.
Allegedly. So Upright Citizens Brigade took a stand. They were like, he is not welcome in the club anymore. He cannot work here.
Good for them.
We apologize to everyone this has happened to, and if you need help, please contact us and we'll get you resources. So they've done a great job of siding with the victims. Kurt Metzger apparently is very offended by this. He thinks I understand partly where he's coming from. He's basically saying he hasn't been convicted of anything. None of these women have gone to the police. What if it's just this big conspiracy to bring him down? Which I don't know why anyone would do that. It seems a little far-fetched to think that multiple women would anonymously come forward, clearly not wanting to get any sort of exposure or any of that sought after, rape allegation money that people think women get for coming forward.
Right. Well, I mean, and that would that could really break a comedian, a female comedian's career.
Which
it's already hard enough. So I mean,
yeah,
absolutely. I would have a hard time coming forward too. No one wants to find a fucking rape victim funny.
No,
you know what I mean?
No,
and that's just the way it is.
The way it is. And so he's been going all over social media, running his mouth about how these women could be lying and how the internet automatically siding with women accusers is so awful, and is like, what's wrong with women? Now, this is a guy who has in his Twitter profile and stuff used the word to describe himself pro-rape.
Oh, cool.
So he's he's a gem, really. Yeah. We're all really glad he exists. Right. But the problem also is Amy Schumer has as technically his employer, she has been getting a lot of people tweeting at her saying things like, Amy, are you aware of this? Amy, are you going to take this to Comedy Central and talk about what can be done? And she's just been blocking people on Twitter. Right. Just been blocking them for
just random people.
Just any rando
that
comes.
Dick bag.
Yeah, it's been pretty awful. So today she finally came out and she said, he no longer works on my show. Please don't attribute his words to me because I didn't say them, which nobody said she did. It's sort of a straw man argument. It's basically people saying, hey, you have the power to take away this man's platform a little bit, so you can't spew a bunch of hate towards women. You want to exercise that or what? Because this isn't the first time. Kurt Metzger has been a shitbag for a long time.
I do have something to say about Amy Schumer in this in particular. Sure. I don't think that her intentions at first, and I think any feminist is a good feminist. I think that even if you're a fake feminist, as long as you're girl power, whatever, good. You're better than being non-feminist altogether. I don't think she set out to be considered a feminist icon until she made a couple of really body positive remarks, some sex positive remarks. And I think that she has become a face of white feminism in a lot of ways. And I think that she has also embraced that because male fans they're not friendly to her. So I do think that she almost out of convenience embraced the fact that people were seeing her as a girl power comedian. That's my impression of her. Perhaps I'm wrong.
I think that's
I really
fair.
feel that she never intended to be considered this. I think that if this had been somebody who worked for Margaret Cho, or what's her name, Janice Jan Galigaficus. God, what the hell is that chick's name? She was so fucking fun. Yeah, sorry. Whatever. But if it had happened to one of them, if it was one of their writers, I think that they would have fucking lost their shit before there was even an investigation. And sometimes that's what you have to do.
Well, I think Amy has while she does have some feminist-ish humor, she also has a lot of not feminist humor.
Right.
And so I think you're right. I don't think she necessarily came out wanting to be a feminist comedian. I just think she used comedy to highlight some double standards and inequalities between men and women. And then so people were like, yay, we're so desperate for feminist comedians, let's take her.
Right, exactly, because she was popular, and like I said, she was a little chunky, not even really chunky at all. No. But people consider her by Hollywood standards to be a little chunky. She made some body positive remarks about really calling it body positivity. She's made some sexual liberation without calling it sexual liberation. Like, yeah, it's I suck a dick. Woo, I suck dicks. Like that's sexually liberating to say for a woman, but I don't think she meant it for that reason. Yeah. So
but I also feel like it's, typical that a man does something shitty and a woman gets all the hate.
That is a good point. Yeah, you kind of flipped it on us a little bit too. That makes sense.
Yeah, a little bit.
We got to hold ourselves to a higher standard, though.
Very true. Very true.
Sure.
So,
but I do see what you're saying.
Yeah. So hopefully Kurt Metzger sees the error of his ways. I doubt it. He seems like a real obstinate, just kind of like I'm saying this just to be ornery kind of guy. Yeah. So anyway, that's the comedy news update. We are going to be back next week with a brand new episode for you guys. Again, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and hopefully soon on iTunes and Stitcher.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Signing off.
Bleh. Bleh.